Welcome to this podcast is to help you experience being blessed that transcends a mere hashtag. Let me add my disclaimer. I'm not a preacher, prophet, or Bible scholar, but I am a God-worshiping, Jesus-loving, Bible-believing, New Thought Christian who believes that God blesses us according to our faith and how we work his principles. So if you're ready to be encouraged, enlightened, and entertained, then you are in the right place. I'm broadcasting on WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network, a nonprofit charitable radio broadcast with a mission to empower, encourage, and educate. Donations are always welcome to help further our mission. You can donate at www.wytv7.org. Today's podcast is sponsored by Blessed Mind Coaching. Are you ready to elevate your thinking, develop an abundance mindset, and release the limiting beliefs that are keeping you from living an abundant life? Join the free 5-day Elevate Challenge at www.raykeltolson.com. All right, let's get into it. We're still in January. It's the last week, and we haven't really talked about fitness yet. So my guest today is Sandy White. She is the host of Simply-FITT. She's also broadcasting on WYTV7. Sandy provides simple tips and strategies to help us to become fit in our mind, body, and soul, which would allow us the opportunity to share our gifts with the world. And that is so true, Sandy, because you know we have to be fit. I always think about singers like Beyonce. She can't be up there doing all that dancing for a whole show if she's not fit. So thank you for Simply-FITT. I'm wearing one of my t-shirts, one of my workout t-shirts. I don't know if everybody can see it. It says go hard or go home. And that's what I used to think about being fit, that you had to go hard. And so I really love everything that you're doing because we don't have to go hard. We can be simply fit and things don't have to be so hard. So welcome to Blessed, Sandy.
Thank you so much, Raquel. I appreciate you having me on here. It's a real honor to come on because I love your show, and you got a couple things going on I want to talk about tonight that's incorporated with being Simply-FITT. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy, and especially like I said, this is January. We've been doing affirmations. We've been talking about, making sure you're on the path that God wanted you to be on. But we have to be fit to actually do the things that God has asked us to do for him. So we have to, so your show is very needed. Now, I believe you actually air a couple of hours before mine on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern time, correct?
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Okay, so now everybody out there, you got to listen to Simply-FITT. And then you got an hour to do something else, and then you come back and listen to Bless. So Sandy, I want to start with this because you put up a quote, John C. Maxwell, and it says, people do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. That is a really good quote. And it really goes with what Simply-FITT is all about. So tell everybody about Simply-FITT and why you chose to do it.
Thank you. Simply-FITT is basically simple tips and strategies to get you to do what you're supposed to do with your nutrition and your exercise routine. Things happen and we get off course. And a lot of times people just make being healthy a science project. It doesn't have to be a science project. What you have to do is make a decision on how you're going to accomplish whatever it is, that fitness goal that you're going to accomplish, and then make it easy. Because if you can't commit to it, you're never going to see the outcome of it. So I love just providing simple tips and strategies to people. And a lot of people already know these. Some things that I will provide people haven't heard, but the bottom line is I want the light bulb to come on, because if we are a better, healthier nation, as you mentioned before, we can go and do what God has told us what we're supposed to do, and it reduces the stress level. You will see, in my opinion, like this, being healthy and with simple tips and strategies will just reduce road rage so much. I tell you, and one of the key things to that is water. Water keeps you hydrated, and it keeps you where you can actually focus and pay attention a lot better. But when you're dehydrated, man, that brain does not work well.
That, you know what? I'm so glad you started with water, because I hear so many different things about water. I heard that you have to drink half your body weight, but then I heard that that's too much because your kidneys can't really do all of that. And that they said that simply just maybe doing 8 glasses or 6 to 8 glasses is really enough that we won't be dehydrated. So what has your research told you about water? How much?
And I'm so glad you asked me that question, because I was ready to elaborate a little more. You want to know a simple trick to get you to drink more water, and how you know when you need to drink water? If you do 2 cups of water before, after, during, like you could 16 ounces of water, like 8 ounce before your meal, 8 ounce after, or you could do both of them before. The bottom line, you want to do that because it cuts your cravings down, makes you feel fuller. But how you know if you need to drink more water, if you're not hydrated, your urine will be extremely dark. It'll have an odor to it. If you're drinking enough water, your urine will be light, like a light color, a little bit lighter than lemonade or clear. And then that's when you know, I've hit my goal. So everybody's body is different. So everybody's going to have that threshold a little different. So you have to use those 2 gauges, which is a simple trick. Am I dark or am I light? And if it got an odor, I need to drink more water.
Oh, that is so good. You know what? It's so funny because you was like drinking it before. I remember when my son was younger, you know how teenage boys or just preteen, they want to eat you out of house and home. And I couldn't have that. So he'd be like, Mom, hungry. I was like, no, you're just thirsty. Go drink some water. So I used to make him drink water before he ate anything to make sure that he was actually hungry and not just thirsty.
But that is actually true. A lot of times people think they're actually hungry when it's actually they're dehydrated. So it's real important that you do that. And another tip is watching your hormones. So how stressed out are you? Got another little simple trick for you. And men, women, and children can take this. It's DIM. It balances out your hormones. When your hormones are off, it really does like just knock you totally off your game plan. So this is a really good product, and they're really small. So it's not like, you know, horse pills. You could barely see that. That's like really tiny. Okay. And you only need 1 a day, managing your hormones, and you'll be amazed by managing your hormones how less food you will eat. When your hormones are all whacked out, you want sugar, you want salt, you're like, in the brain.
Okay, so you've given us a tip about water. You've given us a tip about the hormones. So these are like just simple habits that we just need to start incorporating. So give us some more. We need at least about 5 or 6 to get us through 2020, but we also are going to start listening to your podcast so we can get more. But give the blessed listeners at least about 5 or 6.
Okay, I could do that. I'm gonna jumble 2 to 3 of them up, and then I want you to talk on what I'm about to say. Okay. So one you already discussed, which is the affirmations, and you had a guest on who was phenomenal with the affirmations. It is so true what you tell yourself up here, which will allow you to either move forward or stop in your tracks. The other tip is your journal. You have to track what your progress is. I'm going to give y'all a lot of tips, but every tip is not going to work for somebody. And then the other one is being consistent. The reason you need that journal is, and here's a caveat to these tips. You need to implement one thing at a time. Then write in that journal, were you consistent for that week? I tell people choose one thing or whatever I'm telling you, go for the whole week and track it and be honest with yourself. Did you, if you like, for an example, with the water, I gave you 2 tips on strategies on how you determine how much water you need to drink. Okay, so Monday through Sunday, how did that work? Did it work good? Did it work bad? But I want you to talk a little bit more about that journal, because that journal is key.
Yeah, and so I came up with the I Am Blessed journal because I've been talking about, that we have to make a daily decision to be blessed. But now in my journal, it's so weird that in the journal that I really did exactly what you said. And at the beginning of every month, though, I just did for a month, I have where a good habit for the month. And then I have little boxes so people can check off if they were able to continue with the habit. And then, like you said, they can say they can see what days they didn't do it, and you said doing it for a week, but I was like, so I just think that if the longer we do a habit, the better it becomes a habit. We have 12 months. We don't have to get everything in this month. Like everybody tries to get everything in January. Like you said, let's start with the water, because dehydration is huge. So if we start with the water, and then with that journal, you check it off. And then I didn't even know, but that's like great. I was like, oh, I need to drink 3 liters of water, but I might not need to drink 3 liters. If I'm going to the bathroom and it's clear, my body is good. I don't need to drink anymore. So I'm so glad you told me that, because I didn't know that. And I'm sure a lot of people, we hear, oh, you got to drink 100 liters or all this stuff. And it's like, that's a lot of water.
Yep.
But with this journal, and the journal can be bought on Amazon.com, is the I Am Blessed journal by Raquel Tosin. You can get that, and you can do these simple habits, and you have a habit tracker, and it really is good. I have been doing it with my water for this month. January was all about water, but now that you've told me this, I said, like at the end of it, and I've been like, oh, I haven't been doing all the water I need to. Now I need to go back, like for this week, and focus on, is my body satisfied with the amount of water I am drinking? That's key. I'm so glad we talked.
Yes. Yeah. And then the other thing, another tip that I would suggest, when you set this goal to be on a healthy kick, not just losing weight, healthy kick, because it's a lifestyle change. Right. You want to take your before and after pictures, because everybody's body is different. Here we go again. I may lose a lot of weight. You may lose inches, and then you may feel defeated, because we started this journey together. And always get with a good partner. Don't try to do this by yourself, because you talk yourself out of doing stuff. But what you want to do is, whatever your time frame is, 30 days, 90 days, do your before picture, take an after picture, compare them two together, because the scale is not going to always be true. And why I say that is because for females, we have our menstrual cycle, and we ovulate and we bloat, and guess what, that's that water weight, and you gain, and that scale will tell you all kind of lies. So I always tell people, just the easiest way, do a before and after picture.
Okay, so I heard 2 things. You said the before and after picture, but what stuck out is getting a partner to go through this with you. That is vital. That is good, because and it's not always easy. And that's why I love the fact that we can, we can go online, we can find people who are trying to do, so we can find groups and things like that, because the people in our house might not be down with trying to, live healthier, especially when it comes to losing weight and, and changing their habits.
That is true. And so if you try to do this alone, like I said, you're gonna find some way to trick yourself out of it. But if you find someone, like my pastor always tells us, hang with those that got your answer, get away from those that got your problem. And we got a friend for everything. Friend for the movie, friend to go shopping. Why you ain't got a friend that want to be healthy? Why do you don't have a friend that want to see you live? I want to live to 120, but that may not be your goal. But the bottom line is, have friends with those same goals, and then that journey will be so easy. And when you exercise, because you got to get into exercise, because we can eat right and all that stuff, but when you exercise, it don't have to be a science project. You can exercise on commercial breaks. You can do Tabata. Tabata is a form of HIIT. You can do it 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes. You could, it's interval training, high intensity interval training. And you could do that on commercial breaks or in between when you binge watching your favorite show or whatever like that. And they got those on YouTube. You don't have to necessarily go to a gym. You can walk around the block. Okay, I don't want to walk around the block. Don't give yourself an excuse. So I like to come up with all these little simple strategies. Pick one and do it. Stick to it. Use Raquel's journal to track. How did I do it? Because the Tabata is 15 minutes. Okay, did I last 15 minutes first day, second? And then it say, and you want to set yourself up for a success. So if you got to do a comeback, okay, I'm gonna have me a good do-over. It's gonna be real good. I didn't meet that goal Monday, but I'm gonna meet it on Tuesday. Don't quit.
So wait, Sandy, the 15-minute. Now, what is that you're saying? What it's called? What?
It's Tabata. It's spelled T-A-B-A-T-A. And it's a form of HIIT. It's just an exercise. It's high intensity training, and it's a nice little workout. You can do in 5 minutes, 15 minutes. My thing is, when you're getting started, work that process. If you say, I only want to work, and this is the thing of I love these because they, again, like the water, exercise 30 minutes, 50 minutes, 45. You just want an overall good workout, and you want to add in strength training. You want to see the weight come off, do some strength training. Ladies, unless you taking steroids, you are not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're going to look nice, toned, and slim. Now,
you know what? That's so funny because I actually love when I'm gonna be honest, I hate exercise and I just hate it. And cardio is just like the absolute worst. But I actually like lifting weights because I actually feel stronger. So it's not about like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight, but I just feel like I'm getting stronger and I'm like lifting those weights and I just feel so strong when I'm doing that. So I actually love lifting weights.
And I'm glad that I'm glad that you are so honest, because to elaborate on that, most people don't like exercising because they feel like it's a chore because and I love this word, because they done made it a science project. Find something that you like that's fun. You can exercise, you can hula hoop. They make weighted hula hoops. You can roller skate, you can swim. Exercise is just moving your body, people. That's all it is. And have fun. And you can dance. They got dance routines on YouTube. But turn on some good music and dance. You did it before. I always tell people, think about when you were at your best, when you were at your happiest, where you were like, boop, drop the mic. Okay, what was you doing? You were dancing.
I was dancing.
That's it. And I got how much more time do I have? Because you told me
I'm not sure. Well, we got at least 15 minutes. Hopefully, give me some more. What else you got?
So here's another one. When you meal prep, I like to do mine per day. I'm just weird. I don't like a lot of leftovers, so I do mine each night. I don't.
My son is like that.
But I have a younger sister. She like, that's crazy. I'm not getting up every morning. So her evening routine for one night out the week is she meal preps for the whole week. So another tip is pick some stuff and literally how that's going to be your success routine. So like I get up in the morning time, I take a liver cleanse, because that when you take that, that's cleansing your liver, but you need 2 hours before you add in other nutrients. So while I'm waiting my little 2 hours, I'm meditating, and the time frame. So I'm meditating, I'm writing in my journal. I've read a scripture. You can read a scripture that's going to work for you for that day. And then I've got whatever I said that I'm going to eat, like there are days that you really do need to skip a meal with meat in it and just do straight,
vegetables and
yeah, everything does not have to, really the best thing is to eat fresh. If it's in a box, you already setting yourself up to not be successful. So meal prep is really important. That way you're not eating the GMOs and all the processed stuff, and you can actually take the healthy, clean foods and put them in storage containers that all you gotta do is like whatever your little lunch bag is, grocery bag, grab that stuff, pop it in there, because you've already got it set. You got to make this real easy and simple. And I got some more. Let me know.
Oh, no. Okay. So I just want like the meal prep, because I know like I love to eat salads and, but sometimes you just want something quick and it's not as easy. So I have found like if I cut all my vegetables up and put them all in the things, and I can just dump them all in a salad or just take them and eat them as snacks. And because I did it for 10 days, I didn't eat any meat. I just did vegetables and fruit, and it wasn't that difficult.
No.
And I'm like, so I can do a couple of days without eating meat. I would be fine.
Yes. Yeah. It's just a matter, once you start down this healthy routine, your palate is going to change. I guarantee you, and you're going to love it. I don't always want to eat a salad, but what I do is I'll take a 3 to 4 pound bag. I love spinach, and I blend it up and I put them in 8-ounce bottles. And so that's easy for me to dump my protein powder. Look, you need to eat at least 2 servings of vegetables per meal. That's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're like, ew, how do you eat? You eat like spinach and all that stuff. Yeah, because you can take your vegetables and do a omelet.
Yeah.
So you don't, but you don't always have to eat your vegetables. You can blend your vegetables.
Yeah.
And that's how I get my kids to do it. I blend that stuff up, put it in there, and they're like, this smoothie tastes good. And I'm like, yep. And you drinking some spinach or whatever other stuff in there. But they can't taste it because the fruit overpowers the spinach. And then another thing, a lot of people don't exercise because they have knee challenges.
That would be me. That would be me.
Here's some
ankle. Yeah.
Well, look, omega-3s. It work perfect. That helps with the joint. Or you're like, I don't want to be taking them. But these are these caps are a little bit bigger. So
that's gotta be
people like, I'm not gonna do that. Well, guess what? This is so easy.
The salmon.
It's simple. You could do this 2 to 3 times a week. Incorporate some salmon or some kind of wild caught fish into your diet. It's not hard. And then I can't stress enough that if you're not eliminating, when it should be 1 meal in, 1 meal out. And when I say 1 meal out, that means you have to do the elimination. If you're not eliminating and you're not having you can't be straining, because that's letting you know you ain't got enough fiber, you don't have enough water in your system. But you have to have a really nice bowel movement where it's probably the size of maybe a small to medium sized banana. So if you're stuck in the canal, I got a simple tip for you. Take Mango 7 at night, drink your water. This comes in powder or pills. I don't I didn't care for the powder too much because it has a little bit of an aftertaste. Pick them all.
Yeah.
And everybody's body is different. So some people can get away with using 1 a night. Some people I wouldn't recommend going beyond 3, but again, everybody's body is different. If you need a firm release, not watery release. Because then
so that means if it's too watery, you probably took too much.
Right. And you
need to cut back on how many you take.
Yes.
And that's something that you can take every night to help you eliminate?
So here's the thing. When you are on the healthy kick, if you're doing a lot of the stuff that I suggest, like I do the spinach in my shakes, so that helps me out. I don't necessarily have to do this every night, but say you went to a holiday party and we're in January, we're in the last week, but we're about to go into Valentine's Day and everybody want to eat all this candy. And I'm not saying to take this Mango 7 because you done doused yourself with a bunch of candy. We're setting ourselves up for success. You want to take these these tips and strategies so you don't go overboard when these holiday seasons come. And then, okay, I tripped. I fell off the wagon. Okay, take your Mango 7, clean yourself off, and start all over again.
Okay.
I can't even think of the song, but it's dust yourself off. And you start all over again.
And start all over again. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And then I have another tip, which is really easy. A lot of people like, oh, yeah, Sandy, all that is all wonderful, but I ain't got time for all that. They want a program. They want a system. Well, I love this system. I love Modere. This one right here is Trend. You take 1 teaspoon, and this is why they come in a lot of different flavors. I'm going to tell y'all, when they say take 1 teaspoon, take 1 teaspoon. That stuff is so good. You're like, oh, my God, I can do more. Do 1. Because I'm going to tell you, that stuff works like this. And you're going to regret it if you, because they make it taste good because people don't like all the peels and it's just liquid. But this stuff will shrink your belly like you went and had liposuction.
Really?
And, yes. And Modere has it's like a weight loss program, which I love, and it's called Lean Body. It's a lean body sculpting system, but you could get different flavors. And if you decide that's something you want to do, so I'm going to be working with you because I want to do a program like that, which is a 7-day process, and work up to that so I can, just help people while we're online, because I'm in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, but I don't want people to feel like, okay, she's giving me all these tips, but I want somebody to hold my hand. And it's okay. It's okay for that. If you decide to do the lean sculpting system, make sure you put in the reference code 1650006, because they'll give you.
Say it again.
It's modere.com, and that's MODERE.com. But you want to use the reference code 1650006, so they'll give you $10 off your order. But the lean sculpting system is so easy. I'm telling you, you want to look, a lot of people, if they follow this program with the tips that I'm showing them, within a good 60 days, they're seeing dramatic results. But again, we don't want to just lose the weight and then like, ta-da, no, this is a healthy lifestyle. That's why I say pick one thing, implement that, use Raquel's journal to track your success. That's the only way you're going to know if you're doing well or you're not doing well. Right. And then, go ahead.
No, I was saying you're so right. You're so right. We got about 7 minutes.
Okay, and my last tip, and then I'm gonna be quiet because I got them coming, baby. Just to keep your stress out. I mean, and sleep. Best thing for sleep for stress is to go to sleep. And I like the weighted products. They have the neck pillow because I get it right up in here. So I take that pillow, put it on here, and boy, it's just like my husband is doing that, like, woo, baby. Yeah. And then they have a blanket. I got them for my boys. They sleep perfect. If y'all have not tried the weighted products, you gotta try the weighted pillow, the blanket, and they have one for your lap. And it's just like somebody's giving you like a big old hug or massaging you. You talking about stress being relieved immediately. You don't ever have to take any of these strategies. If you don't do anything but do the stress, the products that I told you to release stress and drink that water, that right there will help a lot of people lose weight, because you can't lose weight when you're stressed out.
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah. So,
and I tell people all the time, because that's how I gained all my weight. Stressing over my mom was dying. So I gained like 60 pounds, and I know it was stress because I was barely eating. So stress will harm us in a lot of ways, but that weight is crazy, being stressed. So you're right, that weighted, I'm gonna have to check that out, the weighted, because I get all stressed up in there too. And to have somebody just like make my shoulders come down to relax, that probably would be really good.
Yes.
So you know what, I was thinking, I have a Facebook group, Tribe Called Blessed, and I want to make sure that you are a part of it, and that you can, make sure you let us know about your shows, what's gonna be happening, like maybe let us know what you're going to be talking about, so we can be a part of that. And then when you have things, and then I'm sure you're going to get you a Facebook group eventually, so we can all join that. We got 2 minutes, and I think you basically already said it. If we don't do anything else, drink our water and de-stress.
Amen.
I surely appreciate you for coming in and helping us, me, the blessed listeners. And for everybody out there, remember Sandy's show, Simply-FITT, is also on WYTV7. It airs on Facebook, on the WYTV7 Facebook on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then it is uploaded, I'm sure, the next day at noon on all the sites. And remember, what God has done for others, He will do the same thing for you. Until next week, be blessed.